This is a very important video for those FTX customers who are waiting their money back. So make sure to watch till the end. Hello and welcome back to Investment Vitals. Today I will be talking about this email that most FTX customers would have received in context of proving their debt, which is essentially proving their claim in order to submit a relevant claim for getting the money back from the now defunct and infamous cryptocurrency exchange FTX. But before I proceed, nothing contained in this video or on my channel is legal or financial advice or of any advice of any sort. I started posting on this video in September 2023 essentially because I wanted to help people like me who are looking for some degree of information on the FTX claim case. Back then I could not find any relevant or useful videos on YouTube that could help us understand the case and help us to go ahead and in trying to make submissions that were required. I hope I have been able to help some of you. I'm certain that most subscribers on this channel were able to file their claims in a timely manner and hence are not are more hopeful of getting their money back considering others who have not able to file. It is very depressing and sad to see that many people miss the deadline. I could see this from comments and the communication I've been seeing separately. It is very depressing to see people not being able to get their hard-earned money back. For some people, it is their life saving. This is the second opportunity that has come across for most of us. So I hope that most people are able to make the best out of it. Therefore, it is important that we share it with as many people as possible, post it on relevant forums, and if you want to help more people the same way as I want to do, hit the like button so that it spreads out to as many people as possible. Share it with your friends and family, post it in relevant forums, and do subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell so that you stay posted on important developments and action that might require your urgent attention. With that out of the way, let me go ahead with this email that many FTX customers would have received. This is a second chance for people who have not already filed a proof of claim to file a proof of claim and in an attempt to get their money back. I'm sure there are many queries that many of you have. If you have any queries that is not addressed in this video, or even otherwise if you have any queries, do mention in the comment section. If you have any suggestion, do mention that also. I will make another video to address the larger queries that people might have, because of course events like this pose many questions, more questions than answers. Therefore, any questions, please mention in the comment section. Next week I'll be making another video to cover all those aspects in a more comprehensive manner. Now back to the email that I was talking about. This is an email that FTX.com customers have received from FTX Digital Markets Limited. It is a notice to creditors to prove debt. Now, what does it imply? People who have got claim on FTX have to file a proof of debt in the Bahamas court. Now, this email is pertaining to the litigation going on in the Bahamas court. Let me read through some of the wordings before I go deep into this. The first is some wordings. The mail says the joint official liquidators, that is also called JOL, of FTX Digital Markets are inviting customers and non-customer creditors to prove their debt in the FTX Digital liquidation via the FTX Digital claim portal, available at the link provided on the screen. The highlighted link is the link where you can make your claim. There are certain queries that they have tried to address in the email itself, like who should submit a claim, how do I submit a claim, so on and so forth. Very important question is, how is this FTX digital liquidation different from the FTX Chapter 11 bankruptcy? I will be covering most of these as I proceed through the email going forward. Now I will skipping. I would encourage you to read through the email, read these questions also, but I will be giving a synopsis and a summary of the critical aspect that is covered in here. Now it starts off with saying who should submit a claim. Before I proceed to this part, let me tell you that this proceeding pertains to most customers of FTX, that is the international customers. It does not apply to customers of FTX US, which is predominantly people, the US residents who are customers of FTX through the FTX.US portal. This does not pertain to them. This pertains to the international customers of FTX exchange. Also, some of the international customers for example, FTX Europe, Turkey, and etc., are not covered in this current proceeding. I'll be covering in detail as I proceed in the video. However, for this purpose, if I would rather keep it as FTX International and FTX US for simplicity's sake. So all customers of FTX.com, which is FTX International, excluding a few exceptions that I'll be discussing forward, may claim against FTX Digital and are welcome to submit the claim. Now, as I said some time back, if customers of FTX US are not eligible for the claim against FTX Digital, there is a reason for this. Let me get into the reason thereof. Let me just give us brief summary of it. This is again, I'll be covering it as going in this email going forward. Now, a couple of things written. How do I submit my claim? It is said that there's a portal that they have opened. The link was given at the top of this email. The link is given here at the beginning of the email. Portal is available on the link here, that is digitalmarketsclaim.pwc.com. This is the email. Make sure that you go to the correct link for filing the claim if you have to. I'll be discussing on who have to file the claim and who do not have to file the claim also, and later in the video. Now, there are 3 steps that are required. First of all, before I move to the 3 steps, the most important part, the deadline is 15th of May 2024. I repeat, 15 May 2024. That is practically around 2.5 months from now. If you have not filed FTX claim in past, this is your last opportunity, probably your last opportunity to try and get your money back. So ensure that you go ahead and file your claim now. If you have already filed a claim, I'll be coming to what are the recourse option and do you have to file, is it preferable to file, so on and so forth. I'll be coming to that separately. Now, with that out of the way, there are 3 steps that are required for this: account registration, linking your FTX account to this portal, and balance acceptance. Either you accept the balance that will come across on the portal for you, that is the proof of debt. It will be self-populated. You accept that, or you dispute the balance. If you dispute the balance, then you will be required to provide additional information on the reasons for disputing the JOL, that is the liquidators required balance, and provide supporting documents. The JOLs will then consider and determine whether to admit or reject your claims accordingly. I presume that most of the people would rather be accepting their claim because it would generally be undisputed. For majority of people watching this video, the first option would be more relevant. Also, please note that apart from customers, this portal is also open to other claimants. For example, vendors, maybe a vendor of FTX who are provided, let's presume stationery, somebody who supplied printing papers to FTX and whose money is not being paid by FTX, they can also file a claim here. I don't expect many people watching this video to be in that category. However, those people would obviously not have a proof of claim on the website. That will be dealt manually, as written here. Non-customer creditors will be dealt manually and therefore will only be required to proceed with step number 1. They'll only have to go with account registration and not for linking the account or accepting the balances, so on and so forth. However, majority of people watching this video would not be in the other category, so I'll rather not go too much detail into that. Now, very important part, as I discussed in my previous videos, there has been a lot of phishing attempts in FTX claim case. Even otherwise, crypto world is still in nascent stages and there are many bad actors. You should always be very careful of the links you click on and the links that you follow. The lenders are the JOLs are in this case are cognizant of this. They have written the FTX digital portal is administered by PwC on behalf of JOL and can be validated via PwC's case website. The link is given here. If you do not trust this email, please navigate to this page via the main PwC global website and review the relevant documents, including but not limited to the official court orders. I have done that. I am always very skeptic of any emails that I receive in context of crypto in particular and in general, and FTX claim in particular. So I have done 2 steps verification for this process. First of all, I have gone to the website headers and I have noted that this is DMARC compliant. It passes the DMARC request, which implies that there is very limited scope of domain being spoofed. Therefore, the domain of ftx.pwc.com that we received from is a legitimate domain, and it doesn't, the probability of this being a spoofed domain is very, very low given the DMARC and DKIM test being passed. Also, apart from this, I have gone to the PwC website and verified that this email is indeed genuine. Now, that brings us to the question of genuinity of PwC in itself. PwC, for those who do not know already, is one of the world's most reputed and trusted organization. It's a large accounting and consulting firm. Therefore, most people, including myself, trust PwC, and hence I believe in the genuinity of this current email. With that, I proceed to the 3rd step, and which is probably the most commonly asked question in this context. How is FTX digital liquidation different from FTX Chapter 11 bankruptcy? Why are these bankruptcies and liquidation separate processes? Now, just before I read through this, let me put across the difference here. Most of us, at least the subscribers of this channel, have already filed a proof of claim on FTX earlier. Now, that FTX proof of claim submission was in context of the Chapter 11 bankruptcy that was going on, that has been going on in the US court of US. The current opportunity that has come across again is in context of the case being proceeded in the state, in the country of Bahamas. You might know that FTX had operations based out of US also, but most of the international operations were housed in the jurisdiction of Bahamas. When an incident happens in a country, the jurisdiction of that country mostly prevails, or unless it is specified in the documents that covered that particular transaction. In our case, because FTX International's most of FTX International operations were housed in Bahamas, therefore Bahamas has the right jurisdiction for considering these cases. However, as I'll be discussing later on in this video, FTX if the litigators in FTX Bahamas case, and there's some degree of cooperation between Bahamas and the US courts, and hence if you have really filed your claim in FTX US, that is FTX the previous claim filing, you need not necessarily have to file again. But I'll be discussing about the advantages and disadvantages little later in the video. Now, okay, I'll read through this quickly. The FTX Group operated globally, trading with more than 100 entities. As I said, the FTX digital liquidation is the court-mandated process for orderly liquidation of FTX digital operation and the legal entity businesses in Bahamas. As I said, most of the FTX international businesses were housed in Bahamas. Therefore, most of the international customers will directly fall under the jurisdiction or the judgment powers of the courts in Bahamas. Therefore, unless you are a FTX US customer or customer of FTX Australia, Japan, Turkey, and EU, you would have the right to proceed to participate in the current ongoing court case in Bahamas. Therefore, even if you have filed a case in US, you can go ahead and file a claim in FTX in this particular opportunity in Bahamas. The deadline of which is to May 15th of this year, May 15, 2024. You can still go ahead and proceed. It would not dilute your claim in FTX US court case also, as I'll discuss going forward in this video also. As in this, they have also specified that there are separate winding up processes in FTX Australia, Japan, Turkey, and EU, which are driven by regulators in those countries. Question number 4, which is also very relevant, is that I am a customer of FTX International and I logged on to ftx.com platform to deposit fiat or cryptocurrency and trade on the exchange. I am owed my money. Which process should I claim in? They are trying to address the various proceedings that are going in this column. For example, FTX US, ftx.com International, FTX through Europe, Japan, Turkey, so on and so forth. Now, it is very strange, or it is really fascinating to see the kind of commingling that had happened. It was a very shabbily managed organization, FTX, as it was, and I'll read through the paragraph to make you understand. That will help throw us light on what it was. It starts off with, due to poor internal record keeping and governance structures of FTX group, there is not a clear perimeter between assets and liabilities of FTX Digital. Now, what they're saying here is money from FTX US, FTX, the various chains of FTX, Turkey, US, Europe, Bahamas, it moved so frequently among these different companies, which should not be the case, that it is very difficult to separate money from one entity to another. That is specified in this column here. It says, following extensive review and analysis, GOLs of FTX Digital and FTX Trading, that is the US associate, have concluded that assets and liabilities of the estates are so hopelessly commingled that they should be consolidated in the case of US Chapter 11 debtors, and or pooled in the case of FTX Digital with the rest of the FTX group for the purpose of realizing assets and then returning money to the customers. Now, for clarity purposes, what they're talking about as FTX Digital is FTX International customers. That is the case that has been pursued in Bahamas, and the other one is FTX US. What they're saying is because there were so many transactions between these entities, although they were different legal companies, there was so much transactions among themselves that it is very difficult to identify a portion one from the other. Therefore, it is important to pull them together for the purpose of identifying it and distributing it back to the customers. Now, coming back, they also said that therefore the JOL, which is the current proceeding, and the US Chapter 11, which is the claim that we filed earlier, have entered into an agreement, which they call the Global Settlement Agreement, to pool assets and liabilities of both the estates. Under the Global Settlement Agreement, for the purpose of, I'll read it quickly, I'll only pause or slow down on the portion that are relevant. Under the Global Settlement Agreement, for the purpose of making distributions to all customers of FTX.com or international customers, the FTX Chapter 11 debtors and FTX pool, these two will Pool assets and coordinate establishment of reserves and timings and amount of the distribution. What it implies is they'll be taking the money together, pulling it across for identifying the distribution amount, so on and so forth. Also, in order to ensure that FTX.com customers in both FTX digital liquidation, the current email that we received, the current Bahamas proceeding, and FTX Chapter 11, that is FTX US court case, uh, receive substantially similar distributions at substantially similar times. Essentially, both these courts are trying to coordinate among themselves. Both these proceedings are being coordinated so that people gets, irrespective if they have claimed in US or in Bahamas, should get similar amount or same amount of claims, and at similar timings, that almost at the same time, so that there's no difference of preferentiality between the two claims separately. This is what they're trying to achieve through a coordination process. Also, they specify here that customers can lodge a claim either in the US process, that is through the Kroll's client portal, or the Bahamas process, which is the current process we are discussing in this video. If a customer is entitled to a dividend, they will receive. That is not very relevant right now. The FTX digital claim portal under Bahamas process has been designed to enable creditors to, one, view their balances of the holding on FTX.com trading, alongside calculating the claim value, and to lodge electronic proof of debt in one place. Essentially, all the three options that were also available in the claims portal for US bankruptcy are available here also. You can get to view your balance of cryptocurrency that is being claimed for, also to calculate your claim values, and also to finally electronically file the proof of debt, like the proof of claim that was filed in the US. All three are similar to what was done in the past. I will be making a separate video on how to file your proof of debt under this litigation separately. That's a topic for another video, but I'll be taking it up separately. Furthermore, the FTX digital claim portal has been designed to enable transfer of claims between the original customer and the claim purchase. Why is this important? As we discussed in the early videos, link appearing at the top of the screen right now, you have the option of selling your claims on the claims market as well. There are other portals also, other entities through which you can sell your claims on FTX and realize your money upfront instead of having to wait for the legal distributions to proceed. If you have sold your claims otherwise, there is an option inbuilt in this platform to enable the transfer of claim to the person who's purchased it. For example, if I was a FTX customer and I have sold my claim to, let's presume, entity A, then in this portal I will have the option of transferring the claim from me to entity A as well, is what is mentioned here. Also, if you are a customer in Australia, Europe, Turkey, or Japan, you may be dealt with under one of the separate processes outlined earlier. Essentially, they are saying that people of Europe, Australia, Turkey, and Japan would have a different process. This process is for most FTX customers, excluding probably these ones. However, if in doubt, you are welcome to make a claim in the Bahamas process, and the JOL will consider your claim. What they are saying is, even if you are a customer of any of these other jurisdictions, you are welcome to make a claim in this current proceeding in Bahamas, and they will consider your claim. This is a very positive thing. If you are a resident of Australia, Europe, Turkey, or Japan, and if you are finding any trouble filing a claim over there, it is a very good opportunity for you to go ahead and file a claim in this current proceeding also. Furthermore, does anything prevent me from making a claim in multiple processes? No. They have categorically specified here, no, nothing prevents you from making a claim in multiple processes. Even if you have filed your claim in US or elsewhere, and you have any degree of doubt in your mind, you can go ahead and file in this proceeding as well. However, creditors will only be paid a distribution from one of these processors. So if you have applied in US and this one at the same time, and if you're an international customer, you'd be paid only once, but nothing stops you from filing in two different processes that are going separately. It's a very positive thing, especially for people who have not been able to file in FTX claim case under US bankruptcy earlier, or who have any doubts in the process filing, or who have not received the confirmation or acknowledgement thereof. It is a very positive enabler. Considering the fact you have got 2.5 months left, it is a very positive thing for most customers, most FTX customers. So please share it with your friends and family again, so that those who are unfortunate enough not to file earlier get some ray of hope. Now, moving ahead further, it says again, with agreed procedure, and customer will be able to select which process they want to follow. I have not gone to the portal of filing yet, but I believe at a later stage we will get an option of choosing between which of the portal is better for you want to choose for. I will cover this at a later stage as for which of the proceeding is beneficial for some of us. However, there are certain people for which this is the de facto or the default selection option. I'll be discussing that in just a while. It says those customers who have or will make a claim in both US and Bahamas process will have the ability to formally elect to opt in to one or other prior to the claim bar date of 15th of May. So from this line, it is assumable that by before 15th of May, we will get an option of choosing between which process we want to fall under. If we file in both US and in this particular process before 15th, we'll get a choice. It seems like we'll get a choice of selecting between one of them. When greater clarity emerge, I'll be discussing on what is my opinion of the better of the two processes. However, for any customer who have already submitted a claim in US process but want to make a claim in Bahamas process, you must positively opt in Bahamas process via either submitting a proof of debt in FTX digital liquidation, or making the option election to opt into Bahamas process by selecting the appropriate box in the voting process of Chapter 11 process that will commence in United States in due course in order to participate in Bahamas process. So it says that you will have to either file into this claim right now, or you'll also, it seems like you'll get an option of a checkbox of electing to opt into the Bahamas process in the FTX US claim case also. Let's wait and watch for that. Wait for more clarity to emerge on this. There's some timelines for left already for this. We can the last date for filing claim under this option in Bahamas is 15th of May, so there's some time left. As soon as I get more clarity on which of the two is how to opt in and opt out, and which of the two is better, I'll be getting back to you. Now, for those people, some people it is Bahamas is the only option left. I'll be talking about those people now, which is also covered in section 6 here. Essentially, people who unfortunately missed out on filing the proof of claim in the US proceeding, that is FTX claim case. Unless they are a FTX US customer, they have an option of filing it now in Bahamas. So it is good news for those people who have missed it out earlier. This is currently your only option that seems like available to you to file your claim in the FTX Bahamas. Even if you have missed out your claim elsewhere in the world, I don't know if they will be able to cater to people from US or not, but if you have missed your claim in any jurisdiction, go ahead and file under this process. If you have no other option left, at least you get a ray of hope. Yes, so people who have missed out on filing if you are an international customer and you missed out on filing FTX claim case in FTX US, definitely go on for this filing. Even if you're an FTX US customer and you missed your proof of claim, still you go ahead and have a ray of hope by filing in the Bahamas court. So if you have missed your proof of claim, it's a no-brainer. Go ahead and file your proof of debt in Bahamas court under the process that is here. Again, as I said earlier, I'll be making a step-by-step video of how to file for this proof of debt shortly. There's some time left. There's 2.5 months left for the deadline to emerge. I'll be making this video in maximum of week or two. So go ahead and file your claim if you have missed out on the claim. Secondly, I will not be reading into the rest of it. But okay, let me quickly read through then. The customer claim bar date for US proceed passed on 29th of September. That is in past, and for some on 26th of February 2023. So many people miss these two deadlines, which means the US process, if any. This means that in US process, if any customer has disagreed with the schedule amount and did not file a proof of claim in US process by the applicable date, it may be too late to do so now. So if you have disagreed with the US process claim amount or have missed the filing, you might not have the option of filing in US going forward unless the court comes with another verdict again. Therefore, the claim date for Bahamas is your potentially last date for filing. It says the bar claim date for Bahamas is 15th of May. We know this already. Meaning any customer or non-customer creditor who wishes to file a proof of claim may still do so up to that date. I've repeated this several times over, but this is so important that it is still worth repeating one more time. If you have missed filing your proof of claim, this potentially is your last opportunity. Go ahead and make the most of it. Now, what are the key differences between Bahamas process and US process? You may opt into either process and you will receive substantially the same level of distribution at the same time. Irrespective of your filing in US or in Bahamas, you are expected to get similar amount at similar time. So both the processes are expected to have similar preferences as of now, prima facie. But there are two vital differences. The first one, as we discussed some time back, many people have missed out on the FTX US claim case. They get a second opportunity. So the deadline now is 15th till of May is for this case compared to 29th of September for the FTX US case. That's the first difference. And second difference is the US court would not be considering small claims, that is claims up to $10. I'll read through the paragraph. The US process will compromise, that is, not pay, customers who have de minimis, which is small amount, de minimis claim, which is small claims. This is because the cost of distributing to these customers will exceed the value of distributions to be made. For example, if let's presume that they are going to send checks across to many people. In that case, the cost of sending the checks will be more than $10, and hence, in US claim case, if your claim is less than $10, is up to $10 or less, then you would not be getting your money. However, in case of Bahamas, irrespective of the amount you have, you are eligible to make a claim. It is specified here that JOLs, however, are obligated under Bahamian law to distribute the dollar on every eligible claim, irrespective of the size. The de minimis level set in US process is $10. Well, $10 is a small amount. I probably might not be worth the claim, but again, I'm nobody to assess the significance of the value. I know for some people, $10 might be a sizable amount. End of the day, it is your money. You should get it back. So if your claim is $10 or less, then this is the only opportunity, presumably the last opportunity to file a claim, because Bahamas court would be considering your claim even if it is a small amount. So if you're a small claimant up to $10, this is the opportunity if you really want to proceed with this process. Again, it's a claim filing would not take too much time. So even if it's a small amount, I would suggest that you go ahead and file your case. The rest is not too much of a proceeding or a effort. What are the next steps? Again, one critical question that I've been asked over and over again in my previous videos also is, some people have not filed KYC, and is it important or required to file KYC? I would not read through the rest of the paragraph, but it says the JOLs will also be running a know your customer, that is KYC, and anti-money laundering process. So even under the Bahamian code, you will have to file your KYC, which is know your customer proceedings, because this court will also, under this proceeding also, they will be looking at KYC and the AML, anti-money laundering processes. As I discussed in my earlier videos, no court will go ahead and release money to, let's say, a terrorist organization, a terrorist or a criminal. Therefore, I do not think a US or Bahamian court will allow any money to be distributed unless your KYC is done. This is very it's highly unlikely that your money will be paid out if your KYC is not completed. Therefore, even under the Bahamian proceeding, you will have to file your complete your KYC. If you are not able to complete your KYC, or you're not confident of the KYC being accepted in your in on FTX claim case in US, this is an opportunity to file your KYC in Bahamian court to try and get your money back. Subsequently, in point number 9, they have given a point of where you can go ahead and ask questions. Again, I'll be also answering your questions. If you have any questions and comments and queries, do mention in the comment section. I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, you can ask the questions on the addresses and the FAQs section given in this document. And the last point is, how can I confirm the email is legitimate? As I started off this video, be careful. There are many spam emails, phishing attempts coming across on internet, people trying to steal your money. You have to be very careful clicking on any links. For the current video, as I mentioned some time back, I have looked at the domain, the DMARC and DKIM, that is essentially try to look out if it is spoof email or not. Also, this content is captured on PwC website. PwC website is a very reputed entity. Therefore, I trust this email content. But it is important that you also verify whenever you get an email, to rather go on the official website and verifying instead of clicking on the link that comes in an email. Generally speaking, that is the practice that I always follow. You should try to do that. It also says that the official court order confirming JOL's appointment and powers can be found on PwC case website, that is pwc.com/FTX. You can refer to the section if you require to. Well, that is practically what I wanted to cover in today's video. There are at least two more videos that I'll make in this current context. First will be to answer any queries that people have in this current new case that is in Bahamas. If you have any queries, comments, or suggestions, mention in the comment section. I will try to address in that particular video. I intend to make this video next week, within a period of 7 days. However, if there are more queries, I'll make another video if required. The second video that I necessarily will be making is the step-by-step process of filing your proof of debt in the for the Bahamian court case. That also I'll be making shortly. We have got some time for that. The deadline is 15th of May. I want to gather as much information before making that video, so that people like me get an opportunity of getting some guidance into how to go about this case. Again, not financial, not legal advice. I again, as I said sometime at the beginning of the video, it is really sad that many people could not file a proof of claim earlier. This is your opportunity to do so. Also, many people are not aware of how to proceed with this. It is important that we share this video with as many people as possible, including posting it on different forums, so that this time around not many people miss out on the proof of on their in their attempt to get their money back. It is, for some people, it is a life saving. It is the hard-earned money that they are waiting to get back. This gives a ray of hope. So let's spread the word across. With that, if you have any questions, again, as I mentioned, put in the comment section. I'll get back to you. See you soon in the next video. Take care. See you.